Wow, Mario Kart 8 is so great. I could play this forever, man. Well, I sure did. Only 3 things are certain in life. Death, the second thing, and Mario Kart 8 being the best-selling Switch game ever. I mean, if you told me back in the Wii U days that this game would sell this much, well, first you had to first convince me that Nintendo can make a profit on a game. Nintendo can make money? But now, Nintendo making money is just another Tuesday. Heck, Nintendo is the most profitable gaming company in the industry right now. It can only go up from here. You wanna know why? I'm finally free from Mario Kart 8. Yep, Mario Kart 9 or 10 or whatever the flip they're gonna call it does indeed exist. That's why it means that Mario Kart 8 is finally over. So what better time to look back at the game than now? Now, I could do a whole retrospective on the entirety of the game, but I'd rather focus on what Nintendo did to hold us fans over. The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. These were just the tastiest of table scraps. I mean, these were table scraps, right? I mean, seeing how we're getting a new Mario Kart this year, there's no doubt that these two things were being developed at the same time. And most likely, this was also made by a B team of some kind. Case in point, this was the final product. Who put Play-Doh in my Mario Kart? The Booster Course Pass aimed to bring tracks from across the Mario Kart series into Mario Kart 8, which is code for our dumb gotcha Mario Kart mobile game. It could become Lost Mia, so here's a bunch of track ports, so now give us money. This was a preservation effort. I mean, one of the biggest chunks of tracks we got was Mario Kart Tour original tracks. But since these were just straight ports, that means the visuals were worse than ever. I mean, look at this. This is the worst before and after. But despite the visual worries, I bought the pass and I played each of the courses by wave as they released. And what did I think? Be patient, I'll tell you, jeez. I think the best way to talk about this is to go cup by cup, starting with the Golden Dash Cup. First course is Paris Promenade. Insert racist joke about I hate French people. This is a Mario Kart Tour City course, and yep, you throwing up is indeed the proper response to that. These tracks are dead simple. Often they feature flat roads and maybe a Goomba if you're lucky. But I suppose to make these courses a little more interesting, they decided, since they had multiple variations in Tour, to have the course change with each lap to reflect these variations. Paris Promenade acts as sort of a tutorial to this concept, with only one lap changing. On that last lap, you go backwards and even run into other racers. Other than that, the course is just okay. What isn't just okay is Toad Circuit. Why did they choose this? I think they were held at gunpoint. This is just a bad course. I mean, it's just a figure 8 and an ugly one at that. But I don't harp on the visuals too much since it's kind of a problem with like all of these tracks. I don't want to have the video to be me saying the grass makes me want to bleach my eyes out the entire time. The track is boring. Next is Choco Mountain and wait, this one's actually good? Wait, that's possible? This is a really creative version of this classic course, adding a glider section and extending the tunnel section to a neat cave section. It also doesn't look like the worst part of hell, so that's something. Last is Coconut Mall, and now we're talking. Wow, I wonder how they changed it for the better. Wait, what? They what? This is still Coconut Mall, but it's missing some serious sauce. For one, no Miis are even in the mall anymore, and the cars didn't even move when the course first released. The whole course just feels slightly neutered. I mean, it's not as neutered as some of the other courses got, but it still bothers me enough. And to be fair, they did update the cars so they move, but it's still way worse than the original, so I don't know why they did this. It's like if I robbed you and then felt bad and returned a single sock to you. What is wrong with you? And that's the Golden Dash Cup, and yeah, it is. This is pretty much the bottom of the barrel when it comes to Mario Kart 8 due to how good the rest of the game is. So hopefully the next cup's better. This is not only the single worst track of all Mario Kart 8, but all of Mario Kart. Tokyo Blur makes me want to never play a Mario Kart game again. It's just a road. Sure, it changes every lap, but somehow each change is worse than the last. The first lap is the best, but it still sucks, and the last lap has no shortcuts, it's just a straight road for half of it. and its big claim to fame is a 3-second glider section. Like, you live in Tokyo, you've been here, and this is the best you can do? If I was told to make a track about my boring hometown, which again, that town is so boring, I still feel like it'd be more interesting of a track than the one that's based on a way cooler place. Thankfully, the next course is a lot better. I mean, anything is better than Mario Kart equivalent of a colonoscopy, but beggars can't be choosers. Shroom Ridge is fun, but it's just a basic traffic course. But I like it well enough, and I'm glad it's here. Hey, maybe the next one will be good. Why Nintendo? I really like the original Sky Garden, and this just isn't that course. It's a boring cloud track masquerading as my beloved Sky Garden. The layout and the theme are basically entirely different. The only thing they have in common with the original track is that it takes place in the sky. The only good part of this track is that the song is really good. Give it a listen, but that does not excuse identity theft. I don't care how good his beats are, I want my social security back. Next is, wait, what? Is this a good track? Like a really good track? Ninja Hideaway is so cool, man. Just a genuinely creative and fun course. I had so much fun playing through it. This is the one truly special course in Wave 1, and I loved it. The theme is great, the track is tricky, and the fact that you can swap between 2 layers of track at once, it's just so cool. And that greatness alone gave me enough hope that Wave 2 would be better. And it was. Not that the bar was set particularly high, but let's get into it. First, the Turnip Cup, and the first course is yet another city course, and it's fine. It's like if Tokyo Blur was not terrible and just mediocre. It could still be way more interesting. I mean, this is New York City, and this is all you could do? Why not go through a Broadway theater, dodge traffic, or go to the Statue of Liberty? Like, how is this New York? There are no rats here. Next is Mario Circuit 3, and what's this, Nintendo? Why is the Hollywood Mexico filter over this track? This course seems like it's trying to be retro, but instead it just looks like a bad PS2 game. Like, this is the ugliest course in Mario Kart history, and on top of that, the course just isn't fun. Next is, thank God, finally a good course. Calamari Desert is more just an adaptation of the funny train track, but it also adds a changing lap system like the Tourist City tracks. Basically, you can now go on the train tracks for 7 laps, which is super neat. The only bad part of this course is that the train is not nearly as much of an obstacle, but that's okay, I understand why it's not. And next is another fan favorite, Waluigi Pinball. I don't like this one. It's just okay. The main pinball section of the course is great, but the rest is just eh. So what I'm trying to say is, this is one of the best courses so far. The next cup in Wave 2 is the Propeller Cup, and it opens with what's honestly a good city course. This is Sydney Sprint, and it's just a solid course. The turns are nice, it all flows super nicely. I like this one park section a lot, and these ramps are super fun. The best part, however, is the music. This is one of my favorite music tracks in the entire game. It just kicks so much ass, I love it. The next course is, wait, also good? Snowland is a simple course, but it's a fun one. It takes a subpar GPA course and adds genuinely really cool elevation to it and a really cool shortcut. Next is, wait, another good one? Okay, what's going on here? Mushroom Gorge is a great course, just like it always was. My only complaint is that the mushrooms are a little less hectic than before, but it's still really fun. Wow, am I seeing this right? 3 good courses in a row. Man, this might be the first cup so far that has nothing but good courses. God damn it, Nintendo. This is Sky High Sunday, a brand new course original to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's just an oval. The whole course is just mashing the trick button over and over and over again. The track is also for some reason entirely in anti-gravity, despite being flat. I assume they did this due to a lot of complaints of anti-gravity not being in the rest of the tracks. But that's like if you were told to put citations in your essay, so you made an essay that was nothing but citations. Well, Wave 2, though a lot better than the first wave, was still not perfect. I only liked 5 out of the 8 courses, which is not a great score. If you consider that combining this with the first wave, this is now the length of some full-on Mario Kart games back in the day. And we put that in perspective, I only like 9 out of 16 courses here. That's barely over half. Thankfully, next wave was another improvement in the end. First is the Rock Cup, starting off with London Loop. Even the name is boring. They knew they couldn't make this beans on toast country interesting. Outside of my extreme racism towards British people, the course just is boring as sin. I mean, again, this is the UK, and I know I made jokes about it, but like, there's a lot of cool stuff here, but all they could come up with was roads and chain chomps. Why can't we go through Big Ben like tick-tock clock? Why can't we... Crap, I really don't know anything about the UK. Why can't we have knife fights? Next is Bootleg, and this is how you do a remake of a course. For one, there's a lake now. I mean, what isn't better with an added lake? If it weren't for the water damage to my house, this wouldn't be that bad. It also has naturally integrated anti-gravity. Whoa, it's almost like this is Mario Kart 8. That's crazy. The course, though great, is a little short, but I mean, after going through like 5 cities in a video, I can tolerate this and then some. Give me all your money. Okay. Now play London Loop. Wait, you're a freaking asshole. Next up is Rock Mountain, or if you're weird, Alpine Pass. Let's be real, both these names are dog water. This is a nice course. I mean, it doesn't look nice, but it's fun. Heck, there's another anti-gravity section. Pinch me, I must be dreaming. Next is Maple Treeway, and even though it still lost a bridge like it lost it in 7, it's still really fun. The devs also added half pipes back into the game. This mechanic was only in Wii, and it was completely abandoned until now. And that's just crazy. And they are not nearly as satisfying as the ones in Mario Kart Wii, and I almost never take them. Well, it's the thought that counts. And that's the Rock Cup. Other than the one track that I don't think British people would like, this is a great cup. One of the best ones so far. The next one just gets better. I forgot games were fun for a minute there. The first track of the Moon Cup is Berlin Byways, and wait, is this a city course that I not only tolerate, like City Sprint, but I really love this course? This is great. I mean, they have cars. Just the addition of traffic and a nice song to go alongside it makes this course way better than it has any right to be. Also, this course has the Berlin Wall, meaning you can now justify that Hitler existed in Mario canon now. Do you think Wario was a Nazi? Next is Peach Gardens. I like this course. It's a nice simple romp through a nice garden, but man, I wish they did a little bit more here. It's all nice, but what the heck? Why are there jump scares in Mario Kart now? Yep, this has the final lap go backwards all of a sudden. It feels supernatural. Calamari Desert also did something similar to this, but wasn't nearly as surprising since it already had variations in Tour. This one didn't have variations, so it makes it so cool that they did it here. Next is Merry Mountain. Happy Holidays. This sure feels weird playing this in the summer. The first half of this track is so cool. You drive up this mountain going on minecart rails and weaving through the snow. It's great. How's the second half? Do you think this is a metaphor how the first half of our lives are full of excitement and wonder, only to be bit by soul-crushing boredom as we grow older and wanting nothing more than we put out of our misery? Or do you think it's just bad track design? I think it's proof that Santa is a freaking bastard. You have such a nice course for the first half, but you just have nothing to do with the rest of it. Like, they realized once they got to the top of the mountain, they need to get you back down, so they said screw it and made a straight line. Next, however, is something truly special. 3DS Rainbow Road. What a track, man. 3 sections, each more creative than the last. And the graphics look like base game quality here. It's amazing. The track just feels magical. No notes here. Easily the best course so far. And that's the first half of the MK8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. That is a mouthful of a sentence. I mean, it's okay. It got really good towards the end, don't get me wrong. But by just pressing up on the joystick, you have 48 other incredible tracks that are far more consistent than this is. Even the best cups here really don't come anywhere close to the best of base 8. But hey, there are still like 3 waves left, so let's see if the second half is any better. Also, if you're liking what you're seeing so far, make sure to like and subscribe. Anyways, on to wave 4 of the Fruit Cup. The first track here, just like always, is another city track, being Amsterdam Drift. It's a nice course. I mean, there's low poly flowers, but what's really neat is you can go into the canal this time. Wait, what? We aren't just on a road. That's crazy. Man, if only we could do this in real life. That did not turn out like I hoped. Next up is Riverside Park, and wait, this looks good? Like, really good. This looks better than some base game courses. Too bad the rest of the course is just kind of boring. It just isn't special, but to know how beautiful the track is, it saves the track and then some. Next is DK Summit, and it's fine. My big problem is how the physics just don't feel the same on these half pipes, man. And the camera on this track is just terrible. I feel like I can't even see the road the entire time. It's like if I'm driving and just looking down the entire time. Next is a brand new course, and this one also is incredible. Next is another brand new course, and this one is simply magical. Yoshi's Island is such a fun and creative course, man. It feels like every corner of this track was made with love and care. The visuals, though certainly different from Base 8, look incredible and super detailed, matching the visual style of Yoshi's Island perfectly. So overall, despite the butchered DK Summit, this is still a great cup. And next cup keeps up this energy with the Boomerang Cup. The first one is Bangkok Rush. He said cock. This is a fun one on paper, but who made these turns? These turns are just super awkward. And are just incredibly weird to take. Like, look at these stairs here, it's impossible to go on them properly without bonking your head. Still a decent course, but it could be so much better. Next is Mario Circuit. Nintendo, this is the 10th Mario Circuit this week. I don't know why out of all the great DS courses they could bring back, they brought back Mario Circuit. I mean, it's okay, but you could have brought back Airship Fortress, Defino Square. Heck, at least Figure 8 Circuit would have been funny. Next is Waluigi Stadium, and it's fun. They added new anti-gravity sections that are super neat, but practically impossible to land on 200cc. But the course is still fun and looks great too. And the final course of this cup and this wave is another city course. Yep, this wave decided it wanted to be worse than Satan himself and put in a third city course. Well, this better be the best damn thing ever, or I am going to scream. Wait, this course isn't just good, it's incredible. It stands toe to toe with some of the best tracks in the series. It's just so creative. I mean, the locations you explore, it actually feels like a racetrack. I can't believe it. That was a great wave. There's only 3 tracks I felt towards, and those are still tracks I would say were good overall. This was a great wave. How are they going to follow it up? Not well. First is the Feather Cup with Athens Dash, and it's pretty good for a city course. But visually, these buildings are just gray squares. What are we doing here? This might be the worst looking track in the game, and after a wave of tracks that all look decent at the very least, it's appalling to say the least. Daisy Cruiser is next, and it's fine. I'm not in love with this track like everyone else is, but it's still decent and looks a lot better than Athens Dash. Next is Moonview Highway, and it's a fine course overall, but that song, it goes so damn hard. But the biggest shame of this course is that the theme doesn't feel nearly as special as it once did. The theme is a city, of course, but since we already have 10 city tracks, it feels a little stale, sadly. But stale is not how I would describe Squeaky Clean Sprint. In this, you race through a shockingly detailed bathroom, and it's simply wondrous. This right here is what I expect out of Mario Kart 9. Something that feels wacky, creative, and inventive all at once. Wow, what a great cup, all pretty good tracks. Wait, did I say this wave sucked? Oh yeah, the Double Cherry Cup. So first, you got Los Angeles Laps, and it's fine. The oil mining area is neat, not flying to LA in the slightest, but nice all around. And next is My Worst Nightmare. So Sunset Wilds was a pretty good course on GPA, had a nice layout, but the best part was how the sun would set as you played the course. So obviously, this course's defining feature would be thrown in the trash by Mario Kart 8. The sun just doesn't set anymore. And they grossly oversimplified the layout of the track, where I can say with confidence that this is the worst track in the game. The track isn't just completely different in layout, but the layout is infinitely worse and the whole gimmick is gone. It's like if I posted a video and had not a single joke in the entirety of it. Thankfully, the next course is a lot better, but not much. So Koopa Cape was one of my favorites in Mario Kart Wii, but not here. What did they do to it? It all has to do with this underwater tunnel. Not only is it just a boring underwater section now, They removed all the obstacles, put annoying anti-gravity in it for some reason, even though it's just completely flat ground, and they borked the camera to hell and back. Like, the camera was fine on the Wii version. Why is it this bad here? This is just terrible, and the next course is just another boring city course. I mean, the first lap of Vancouver Velocity is great, but the rest are just so bland. Yes, it's cool to have a city course with anti-gravity, but going upside down in a boring room still means you're in a boring room. This was a terrible wave. Sure, the first cup was great, but the second contained some of the worst tracks in the game. Heck, I wouldn't blame you if you said this was the worst cup in the series. Let's just take a look at the final wave now. First is the Acorn Cup, starting with another city course. My favorite. It's fine. The Coliseum part is cool, but the rest is just boring. And next is DK Mountain. I like this course. You shoot up the mountain, you work your way down, but it felt a little better in Double Dash, mainly because the game was just so much more bouncy. It felt really good with this sort of bouncy track that made everything feel like just super fun and hectic. It's still great here, don't get me wrong, but I feel like with the new physics of Mario Kart 8, it kind of ruins this track just a tiny bit, but still a great course. And next is Daisy Circuit. Of all the tracks to bring back, you bring back a mediocre Wii track? There was a whole Mario Kart Tour track that's left behind, being Propeller Pipeline, and it looked great. And now it's just gone forever pretty much, because I guess we just really needed another circuit track. It's fine. Next is Propeller Cove, and wow, there's a lot of Propeller tracks. It's pretty solid. It takes the changing lap gimmick from the city courses, and it's super fun. I like this one a lot. And now here we are, the final cup. And also, what's even more important, the final city course. My hell will finally be over. Madrid Drive is just okay. I like the part where you're in the football field, but the rest is just okay. Thank God we're done with those. Next is another weird pick, being Rosaline's Ice World. It's fine, the camera at one part sucks, but the rest is alright. Next is a Bowser Castle track, and this one's a great remake. It adds so much personality to the course, and it's honestly just great. And rounding off all of Mario Kart 8 is Wii Rainbow Road, and this is a great course. It's difficult, but incredibly fun, and the addition of anti-gravity throughout the entire course just adds to the chaos, in a way that feels way better than what's added to other courses like Koopa Cave. A perfect way to end the legacy of Mario Kart 8. And that's it. Of 48 tracks reviewed. And what did I think? It was half really good and half pretty bad. A straight 50-50 pretty much. Visually though, towards the end it got better, but it rarely met base game quality. But that's not all that was added. It also added 8 characters and all great additions to the game, especially Funky Kong, who's the only character I play as now. He's just so funky. So yeah, needless to say, even though looking back at it was fun, I'm so glad I never had to play another city course again in my entire life.